Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Dad, no preview today. Millwall, what are you thinking then?
Well, you know what? First and foremost, get the serious stuff out of the way. Let's do a quick recap on the game against Middlesbrough. I thought it was fantastic fitting tribute for Mark. The whole thing was brilliant, and I thought, good on the album, good on everybody, including the players and the away Borough fans as well. So
yeah, quality. Tribute was natural. I thought, especially you said then about the Borough fans getting involved. I think it was a nice send-off, wasn't it, really? And the players wearing the black arm, and especially from stopping the game.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, mentioned it because gone but never forgotten. But we'll move on and we'll address certain issues as we find them, because we have got to be extremely careful not to get into hot water with the powers that be. Anyway, so listen,
I'll let you start, but I'll go first on the game. We didn't look at it, did we? I didn't think, against Middlesbrough. Don't get me wrong, they are a good team, and I think you could tell this in the starting 11. They've got some quality players, especially I said to you, Latte Laff. He's a really good striker. And don't get me wrong, I think going into the game, you're thinking, right, we should hopefully do a job here and get the win. But then I think we underestimated them a little. I thought, while there was two good sides going at it, I thought they had a bit more edge than us.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder whether it's A, because we were top of the league. I think B, I don't think there's an awful lot of difference between the two clubs, if I'm going to be honest. And I think that on the night, the only simplistic way I can explain it is, if you don't convert your chances when you have them, and the opposing side do, end off. Now, bearing in mind, I thought Palmer had a good game.
Did you?
Yeah, because he had two saves. We missed them, but I watched it on the playback. Palmer saved two really good goal opportunities. However, on another day, Magic would have popped up. Now, what I was really worried about, and I can stop looking at my notes. What I was really worried about, yes, I do notes, not just throwing together. What I was really worried about was the fact that something seemed to be missing. I don't know whether it was fatigue, I don't know whether it was expectations, damn right sloppiness, because I found that we were just too open, and that we didn't seem to pose a threat. On the vlog, I'd said that the midfield looked good. It looked better than it did at Wednesday.
Yes.
But one thing I would say, we needed somebody to grab that game by the scruff of the neck in midfield and boss it. We didn't. The play seemed to pass us by, and so that does worry me. Now, one thing I will address, and I had a go at you earlier. Listen, now's not that time to have a pop at King Carlos. Yes, he's thinking about too much, but he's got nothing on right to. His job is to get the best out of the Albion. So if he thinks it's right, then it's right, because he leads them guys by his results. But whoa. But I just think sometimes we rely too heavily on key players, and when the key players aren't at it, then we don't play. I mean, I'm disappointed in Jed of late. I think a lot of fans are. Of course, he's the club captain. Swifty.
He's got a lot of pressure on there. Guys, what were your thoughts on Jed Wallace's performance? I didn't think, realistically speaking, when he came to side, I wasn't like over the moon. I thought Tom, while he didn't have the greatest game at Sheffield Wednesday, he's always going to pose that threat with a step over and ball in the box. And Jed, of course, had that chance to score. And I thought overall, he didn't bring off for a lot, did he? In my opinion.
No.
The problem I have is, don't get me wrong, I think players now who come into the side do need to step up, and I think he had the chance there to do well and maybe get himself back in the side. But it's one of those, I think you're going to have some players who are a bit sloppy. I think back to going to Saturday, Tuesday, it can be a big thing, but that's what we need the squad done. And as you said then, I'll keep going. It's with the midfield. I know you said we lacked a little bit in midfield. Don't get me wrong, we did at times, yes. But I found like, because of the likes of Tom Fellows weren't playing and we weren't causing as much of a problem to Middlesbrough that we hopefully would have, I felt like Mowat, for example, where he was putting the balls across left and right, and you think so, yeah, that's the normal Mowat we like and love. But the only problem I had was, you had points where, as you said, the midfield's been overrun, and that was just because, Dad, we were trying to create other problems, because we didn't have the likes of Fellows, and Grant didn't look as bad. But I thought he wasn't actually too bad throughout the game.
I
just felt like in midfield-wise, we just were too open, and that was because we couldn't actually break Borough down.
That's what I'm trying to say, and I've been thinking about it. Now listen, right? Yes, 2 games in a short space of time. Tired. Borough had the same.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, Dad. But then again, if the players are tired, then you swap them, and then some players should come in and do the job. And in that game, I just don't think Jed did the job.
I mean, I think there's more to it, Jed, because the only reason I say I'm disappointed is we've seen the best of Jim, and I thought, wow. So he's set an expectation there that he just can't cope.
Yeah.
But we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. There might be something we're not aware of, so we'll move on.
We'll move on, but coming back as well to Swifty, this is where I disagree and agree with people. I disagree with the fact you can't just keep banging on about goals and assists. Because don't get me wrong, that's what he's there to do. But many people, and we go to every game, and you can tell that this season it's a lot different. He's not just a person to always go, right then, Swifty's got to be there, he's got to have a shot and whatnot, and he's going to get a goal or assist, be the main man for the Albion. This season, it's different. And I've noticed this way how he plays. It's not the fact he's always going to be up there. He's always the person to come to the ball, create that option sometimes. And there's one that's be like, a bit like a mower, where he's going to get the ball, run, reveal it, or play it off, create the space, and give someone a bit of an opportunity to do something else. And that's what I think Carlos has made him, tried to make him to do in the team. And I think, don't get me wrong, I can see why people are getting on his back about it. But who's going to do that option otherwise?
Yeah, I think you really got to get a grip on. I think not you, but us as football fans. It is this. Carlos at the beginning of the season openly said it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a long, hard struggle, long, hard season. We way surpassed my expectations in the first couple of games. So the template has been, the bar has been set. So I've no doubt it will be a hard season. There will be plenty of bumps in the road. But right, we've got players there who on their day are exceptional. Now I'm not worried. I'm not worried. But as football fans, we've got a chance now to bonded by belief, as they say.
Exactly.
Get behind the players.
And as you've always said to me, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Now coming back to Swifty, I'm his biggest critic. But now and again, right, I'll go through games when you've not plied me with alcoholic beverage. I'm old enough to say no. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying Swifty. For times, I'll just have like my own player cam and I'll watch that player. Right. Swifty does a lot of stuff that's unnoticed.
Yes, I do agree with that.
And he'll get involved in things. He's not going to be this Malumbi figure. However,
can you see? Sorry, but can you see why people are getting his back though?
Yeah, I can. It's expectations, isn't it? But I tell you what, we'll know. Where are we without Swifty? But he's got it in the locker.
He has got in the locker, and I think he's one of those players who can change games, let's be honest. I mean, overall, I don't think many players had a real exceptional game, I thought. And I thought he struggled at the back. I thought especially like Carl Barley didn't have the greatest of games, did he?
Yeah, but again, you've got to remember his age. You've got to you've got a good point there. So that the back-to-back games in such a short space, he ain't no spring chicken. You know, and that's where you'd expect Semi to fill in. But, you know, I've got a theory about, and I might be just completely is I think they're training too hard.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. We have an analogy, don't we, with boxing, and they reckon that Anthony Joshua, by the time the fight came, he trained that much, he didn't have it in the locker. And I actually think there's a bit of that with Albion, because you can see Carlos. He's intense, isn't he? Now listen, I'm quite happy to write it off. A couple of bad days in the office. And let's not forget, we're going to have loads more. That's why it's called a season. We're going to have ups and downs. I think they've been top of the league. We couldn't cope with the pressure.
That was the final thing I was going to say on the Borough game overall. Don't get me wrong, I think there's no need to panic. We've done really well for where we are in the season. A lot of people were saying we're not actually going to do as well as we think we are. We're going to be 15th, 16th. And to be where we are, top of the league for a couple of weeks, you're thinking to yourself, what a season it has been so far. So I wouldn't worry. I can see why people are saying, don't get me wrong, that Carlos Corberán sometimes doesn't have a plan B. And the likes of...
You were one of them who said it.
Huh? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm the one that said it in the car on the way back, because don't get me wrong, that's my worry, because we're getting found out at the moment. Because if you notice in the game, as soon as the likes of Mikey Johnson and Tom Fellows came on, straight away, double team. They've got two players on them, so if Tom Fellows does a step over, there's none man guarding him. So they're always going to cover that man there, and especially Mikey Johnson, because they know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be your problem, especially with those likes of players. So that's why sometimes I think the fans, and I can agree with you saying in the comment section, guys, that he needs to switch it up for like a different game, just because otherwise, week in, week out, they're going to go, right then, we're going to two-man on Tom Fellows. If Mikey Johnson starts, does the same thing. And then, imagine, don't get me wrong, he's a goal threat, but if he has no support, he has no support.
Yeah, when I listen to you, I agree with you. I think as football supporters, everybody's got their own opinion. They may all differ. That's the beautiful thing about the game. And I thought to myself, when you were slating King Carlos, right, but you've got every right to. I thought, well, hang on a tick, right? We said the same about Steve Bruce. He ain't got a plan B. We said the same about Val.
There's a reason why we're up there, though.
Yeah, there is a reason why we're up there. You know why? Because we're the Albion, and we've got it in our arsenal. I think, from my honest viewpoint, is my expectations sometimes are a little bit way up there. But I think that we steamrolled the season, didn't we? So far. I mean, how many games? 6, 7?
Yeah.
8? And we've done extremely well.
We did really well, yeah. So it's a bit of a blip at the moment, don't get me wrong, but I think moving on to Millwall, guys, what are your thoughts going into it? I think we got a lot of positivity into it. I would probably make a couple of changes here and there.
And what would they be?
See, for me, I would like to see Mason Holgate start, because I do want Don Alfon to be pushed a bit. I don't know if he's been pushed in training and whatnot, but I want to see Mason Holgate put into the side, someone different, even if he plays at centre back, for example, because I do feel like sometimes we're going the same old Bartley and Semi Ajayi, and maybe something different might add to it, just because they might be pushed a bit more, have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I think you're right. We had this conversation, didn't we, with a couple of fans on the way home, which was quite interesting. Totally agree. I'm not saying I'm questioning his ability. I'm saying he's been flogged like a racehorse.
Yeah.
And there's been games, mate, where he has.
Don't get me wrong, I think he's playing well. I thought he struggled at Sheffield Wednesday, but other than that, he's been ace.
So that begs the question, and it's a really good debate. I'd love to get people involved.
Yeah, Mason, put comment down below. What are your thoughts, guys?
Is this? If you're going to have Mason Holgate, why have him and not playing?
Exactly. I think it's cover, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really.
so I'm happy with that.
Saying that, Dad, because I think you said to me as well. I thought Styles, when he came on the pitch, he looked ace.
He looked as if he had something to offer.
He brought a bit of energy about him, didn't he?
But you know, I am the most fickle bugger in the world, right? Who's that? Who's Ratchet?
Ratchet.
I thought when he first come on the scene, I thought he's got something to offer. I don't know whether he's still finding his feet in English Football League, or whether or not he's too silky. At the moment, the jury's out. But I'm saying that because we've lost 2 games.
Exactly. And if you said to me, interestingly enough, and off camera, and I think it's the fact that when we look in the transfer market, you wanted to replace Jock, and that's why we brought in the Rasic signing, because you wanted to replace Jock. And I've noticed with Diakite and Rasic, they're both 2 good tacklers of the ball. Don't get me wrong, they're brilliant tackling. But other than that, I'm not too sure, because I think Rasic tries to do the step too far sometimes when you can do the simple pass.
Overdoing it.
Yeah, so he is overdoing it quite a lot. But as he said, the jury is out. But I think you got to stick with him at the moment, because I thought Jason Malumbi was alright the other day as well.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that perhaps sometimes I set my own high expectations that don't come off. But coming back to the middles, excuse me, the Lions.
The Lions, yeah. So going into Millwall, it's going to be a tough one. I think they just won that last game, didn't they?
No, I think they lost against because
Cardiff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Kenny, what is going on? Make sure in the comment section.
We have got a dilemma.
Go on.
I'll come to the end of it. So the Lions are in town. They're currently sitting 16th in the league. We're sitting in 3rd place. I'm going to reel off the stats. They've had a defeat at Cardiff. They drew at QPR.
Yeah.
They walloped Preston.
Yeah.
And they had a home loss to Luton 1-0. Who's the top scorer in Millwall then? Let's see if you got your onions.
Top goal scorer, Duncan Whitmore.
Good man.
Yeah, no, you're stuff. Doing it.
No,
Stuff, big boy.
Well,
go on.
Don't you get carried away. Just remember your place.
Go on then.
See what I've done there? Is this
Mr. Hagler?
Millwall have lost a host of players to injury, and they're not doing too well. And I know that the likes of the club captain Sean Hutchinson, he's not available. So maybe we've got Millwall at their most vulnerable. However, will they learn that? Listen, they've got fringe players. If they haven't had the opportunity to blood into the team, now's the time. They've got nothing to lose. So I think that you mention earlier. Is it SA?
SA, yeah, he's a really good youngster actually. We may have butchered that, but I'm pretty sure it's SA, something like that. But he's a really good youngster, and I think he's one of those talented players in the Championship you do really look at, and I think he's the star man for Millwall, I do feel like. But going on to Millwall as a whole, I think their transfer window, I would love to know what you think, Millwall fans. I didn't think it was half bad in my opinion. I think you brought in Macaulay Langstaff from Notts County. It's a great signing. He hasn't really hit the high hopes that you expect to at the moment, but overall it could be a really, really good sign, especially if you start scoring goals. And I think Japhet Tanganga, he came in on loan last season. He started now on a permanent. And he's a really good Championship player. So they have got a decent squad in their hands, Dad.
Didn't you say they had a new keeper as well?
That's right,
who you said, let's be honest. If you're going to do a pod, you can't do, what's the word, sex it all up. You said he was rank.
That was my comments towards. I think it was one of the first games they played, something like Luton. I thought, well, I'm not too sure about him here. And I think he has struggled, but I think he's coming to his own now. So it's one of those, they're getting into the new surroundings, and that's why you can't really judge a player just yet.
It's too early in the season.
It is, isn't it?
It really is too early in the season. I mean, I don't know whether you agree or not. This is, I'm desperate to get feedback from people on the comments. And by the way, thank you for those that do.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys.
You know what? My suggestion is, I think that the EFL Championship is getting harder.
Oh, it is. I think it's gone from having the really good teams who you're not going to compare to in the league. I've gone down from that to there's just a solid championship base of really good teams, so it's hard to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, if I was an opposition manager, I'd say my game plan to stop the Albion is stop the supply to fellows, put 2 men on Madja.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, and I think many people have said this in the comment section below. I do feel that sometimes with the capabilities of losing out for a ball over the top, I felt like, don't get me wrong, Semi can catch them out with his pace, but there's occasions where there's a ball over the top and you're thinking to yourself, whoa, because Bartley's been caught out a couple of times, especially.
That's how Wednesday done us.
Yeah, and I thought Bowden a couple of times in the game.
I think
and that's what I think Millwall will start to do on the weekend. I think when the Macaulay Lammerstaff's like up top, and you think to yourself, if they really push onto the ball and then they get the ball out wide, put balls in the box, we're going to struggle, especially against a tall side like Millwall.
I would suggest we've been caught out. I think the people have got our number, they know how we play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. But another one thing, finally, I was going to say, we've got so many tall players in the team, and there's points where, I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like we really look threatening from corners.
I know, yet last season, our rock was our centre half.
You got Semi, you got Bartley, you got Hegum, you got Rasic, you got Madja. These tall players, and in my opinion, we haven't really looked threatening.
Yeah, I see what you said there, because I thought, again, when you watch these matches, you think, wow, hang on a sec, right, we've got a back line now that is not as strengthy, or don't play to their strengths as they should, which lets the floodgates open somewhat. Now Palmer's being tested to the absolute limit, and at the moment, I'm not that happy about it.
No, I do completely agree. It's going to be a real tough one, guys. I don't think you can really underestimate Millwall, even though they are 16th in the league and have lost the majority of their games. They're going to really be up there.
We seem to have, sorry to put it,
because we could be the one team that you think to yourself, you know what, they've lost 2 of the battles, let's make it 3.
I know, yeah, that's exactly what I've been thinking. Now, we've got a topsy-turvy history with the results with Millwall. I think from now onwards, my predictions, right, I'm going to probably say my expectation of what the reality will be. And it's mine as simple as this. So
what are your score predictions, actually? Go on.
My expectation would be 3-0.
Win?
Yeah.
But what are you going for?
0-0.
0-0. Another 0-0. Yeah, they always come down, they get a point on the Hawthorns. Mad to say. Quality set of supporters. A lot of time for you Millwall fans.
Well, this is the dilemma I've got, or dichotomy, as they say. And this is up to the people who make the decisions, i.e. your mum. We've been invited to join Millwall.
For a few sherbet dips.
For more than a few sherbet dips.
Yeah, we know. Because you know what he's like.
It's not. Listen, Big Richie and the lads, right, have invited us to an unknown location. Now, I'm feeling a bit worried because I haven't spoke to Kenny if he's going down. I don't want to drop in him. But I'm also worried that I'll get into the ale house, as they say. See our old pals, who I've got such a lot of time for, right, and I'll get absolutely Kuala Lumpur.
Well, we know what he'll do. I'm going to go for, guys, I'm stay positive. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to the boys. I feel we need a clean sheet as well to get under our belts again and get more bit of confidence about ourselves. And I think hopefully we can get the win this weekend. Make sure as well, guys, put in the comment section down below, what are your score predictions as always? Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I'd say that, listen, all turn up in our numbers. Let's be positive. You stay sober because you will be going with them more and more. Let's not panic, yeah?
Exactly. Thank you so much as well, guys, for all the comments and all the fans coming up to us. We really, really do appreciate your support as always, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, you would not believe the week like we had last week, but you know what? We're not going to bore you. So all we'll say is, listen, you're the lifeblood of the channel, because without you, we wouldn't get the impetus to do even better. But I'd love to go on to bigger and better things.
Exactly.
I don't like why one of these people is smashed that like button, we want this, that. I do. I don't want to say it, but you know what? You've got so much coming your way that you're going to love it. Stay safe, stay happy, stay positive, and as long as you're done,
it's showtime!